Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ryan Knuppel here, Knup Sports, episode 228 of the Knup Sports Show. So thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate all the support. Hope you're doing well. We are just 3 weeks from the NFL season starting here in the United States. We're super excited for that. It's actually 3 weeks from the recording of this show. We got I can't even remember who's playing, but I cannot wait for the games to start. We actually got Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday on week one this year. So they're adding that Friday in there, which will be kind of fun, just to get us all excited and going for football season. So really excited for that. A little bit more housekeeping. We have the SBC Summit Lisbon coming up in September. We're strong media partners with SBC, and so if you have any questions about this event, if you're going to this event, please reach out. Would love to chat with you about it. If you do not have tickets and you are planning on going, please use the promo code NewPartnerVIP. This is for your benefit, not for my benefit. This is good for you. I think it's like a 50% discount on your ticket or something crazy. One of the best discounts you can find. So please, if you or any of your friends or anybody you know are going, use this promo code. Also shows support that we're proud media partners with those guys. So it's going to be an amazing event. One of the biggest iGaming shows in the world going to be happening there in Lisbon. So make sure you check that one out in September. Other than that, lots of sports stuff going on, baseball going. Yeah, just a great time. Great time to be alive. Hope you're all doing well as well. All right, let's dive in. You know what we do here. We interview amazing leaders in the sports business world, in the iGaming world. And we have another one here today we're excited to bring you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on my guest today. Today I have Julien Sevat of SamSports. Julien, how are you?
Very good, Ryan. And I have to say, Lisbon is an amazing city. So great place to go in terms of the event. It's
I've never personally been, but I've heard nothing but positive things about it. And so, yeah, it's should be, they're calling it like the iGaming super show of the world or something crazy like that. So it should be an amazing event. Are you going to go?
I'm not sure yet. I'm looking into it, but for me, when I think Lisbon, I think my stag do because that's where we did it, and the food. So
We love the food.
as
I
you
love
say,
my
the
food.
event is great, the food is great, the location is great. So it's the triple X, effect. So
Amazing.
it's in the date. Depending if you think we have to do, I'm looking into it. We're not far. It's just 3 hours from me. So
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, let's get on track here, Julien. I'm excited to get to meet you. I mean, I've got to meet you a few times, and I got to know you a little bit. But I want the world to know who you are. I want the world to understand what you're doing with Sam Sports because you're doing some amazing things in the fantasy sports realm. And so I'm excited to dive in a little bit. Why don't you start by first telling everybody a little bit about yourself, maybe about your background and kind of what led you to where you're at today.
yeah, for sure. Well, I cannot hide the accent, so everybody knows I'm French. I've tried after 20 plus years, but it doesn't want to go away. So yeah, I grew up in the Caribbean in Guadeloupe as an island. Moved to America when I was 18, where I studied in Florida at FGCU, to be more precise, and then went back to Europe, Amsterdam, Barcelona, and travel around to now be in Krakow for the moment for family issues. For my son, more precisely. As a person, I've been always involved in sports. So I started in sports marketing when I was younger, when I was 22, 23, and sports hospitality, selling sponsoring tickets. But I always been attracted to games and playing fantasy. So when in 21, the company I was working for didn't raise the money, I decided to jump in, create my own, create Metasports Arena, the company that owns SamSports, and starting to build with a team what is SamSports today, which is a mixed between fantasy sports with a touch of Madden Ultimate as well as Football Manager, because at the end of the day, we wanted to create something different, and this is what we have done.
Amazing. Yeah, that's cool. So you spent some time in Florida. I'm in Orlando. Sounds like you went to that's down there in Fort Myers, right?
Yeah,
Florida.
correct. Yeah.
That's a beautiful area though. Did you enjoy your time?
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. And in 1998 to 2003, 2004, it was fully different because I was one of the first to join FGCU. I started the soccer program over there as just a little college sports, and growing up as being a student, why don't we take this to the next step? So student government and all these kind of things, so it was amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for that background. Really appreciate that. So, SamSports. So, you dreamed this up, and tell us a little bit about what it is at a high level. I'm going to pull it up on screen. I'm going to pull your website up on screen as well. But why don't you just give us that 1,000-foot view of what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish with SamSports?
Yeah, for sure. So, like I was saying before, the goal with Ross Mongry, my business partner here, which is our head of gameplay within the platform, is to recreate a way where our users manage their teams, like pro owners. And managing a team when you play fantasy is not selecting, your 20 plus players, your just offense. We wanted to go deeper than this. So that's why we have really recreated what we like to say the GM experience. So we have created 32 men's leagues. So you have your 32 teams like the NFL. If we talk about NFL, you have your 53 players in your squad. You have your salary cap. We have created an in-game economy. So instead of paying dollars, with the 229 million you could spend in the NFL, you can do this with SamPoint. So it's really, our goal is really to put the users that when he play our game and is very good within our game, it could almost apply, to one of the 32 NFL team or, smaller leagues teams, semi-pro teams for a job, because this is what we want to achieve, a bit the same way that people have done with Football Manager here in Europe. We see more and more young kids applying for jobs because they are good into the game. And that's our goal within this. So I don't like to be compared to another fantasy team because we are different. Through the way we have done this, through the virtual stadium that we have in it, where you control your ticketing, your 100, you win a game, you keep your 100% fan base coming to the game. You lose a game, you lose 3%. You can gain your 1.3% back, of your fans, but you have to load in every game. So we have created a few ways to gamify a bit what was fantasy sports.
So it sounds like, that's amazing, by the way. And I've dove in and looked at it a little bit, and you showed me a nice demo the other day. So I'm very versed in what's going on here. But it sounds to me like, maybe this is so explain the audience a little bit, right? Because you kind of have these buckets of fantasy sports players. You have your kind of like, hey, I just kind of want to log in and play. You have these people that are really, really into it. It sounds like maybe what you're creating is kind of for that next level of person.
Correct. Yeah.
Really wants to dive a little deeper. Correct. And
correct. Yeah. If you never play fantasy, then you are not yet ready for us because we're a bit too intense for you.
Yeah.
And we are for what I like to say, the experienced fantasy player that is bored to play for the last 20 years the same way, and that is looking to really challenge himself. And we have a tool that we are building, which is called the GM rating. And the GM rating is not just, oh yeah, I have the most points, I am the best. No. What we are looking into it is really analyzing your performance. What players you keep on your bench compared to the player that score, as your starters. We are looking through the whole season, your performance as well. And we give you a percentage on this, and so therefore we really analyze how you play and not just how much points you add every week. So that's something that's why I like to say it's for experienced users. So yeah, if you like to play your 12 men's leagues, are you going to play 32 men's leagues? Probably not. And there is a reason why you don't like to dig deeper, on your second, third, fourth string quarterback that you need when you have a 53 men's players team, like the NFL. So that's why we like to say we are a real true GM experience.
Yeah, and what I love about that, right, is it seems to be a growing interest in sports business as a whole, and like there's a lot of kids, especially in college these days, that are going through sport management programs and that have dreams of being in like GM roles, right, going through the upper offices and going through this whole like team dynamic and understanding that. And so something like this, while maybe sounds kind of weird, it actually gives you that experience before you even can get into a real team experience, right? You're learning different types of stuff by doing what you're doing here than you are in just playing normal fantasy football.
Yeah.
That's why one of the things I really love about it is it's really, truly challenging you from a brain side and like how a team works and how to put all that together. So really cool.
And listen, I was that kid 20 years ago. I'm a sports management degree from FGCU. I was that kid that was dreaming to
Yep.
work for a sports team.
Yep.
When I graduated, I sent my CV to all the French team and they all said no to me, and I was so disappointed. So the next thing I had was football manager. So at the end of the day, so that's always been a way I like to see it, and you said it perfectly. So yeah.
Perfect.
Any college student that want to come in and jump and play this,
Yes. So what sports are you guys active for currently? I guess currently, and what are you building out for the future from a sports side? Like which sports are you working with?
So we have American football, as you know, but we are also building soccer, which for me is is in my blood. And even football soccer is going to be very, very unique with transfer between leagues, which doesn't exist right now in fantasy soccer. So you can monetize this. We have baseball ready, but we are not going to launch it yet this season. We have hockey ready as well, which we are looking into, but that's more niche market. So as we are a bootstrap business, and of course we're going to look for partners to continue pushing or go to market. Within this, it's we are going to look at the different stages of where we are. But the games are ready; they are developed. It's just a question of when we press the button and we release it to the market.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. I'm sure we can sit here and talk about the gameplay all day. That's the fun part, right? But I want to learn a little bit more about the business side for you and just how it's been developing this, creating this. I love the entrepreneurial mindset, and I just love hearing from other entrepreneurs of their challenges, their successes, what they've liked, what they haven't liked. And so on this show, we try to feature a little bit of that. So why don't you give us, I don't know, just a little bit about your experience so far as an entrepreneur and how that's been going, and maybe showcase some of the challenges that you guys have experienced at building this.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, I've been an entrepreneur since 2012 because before this I had my sports marketing business.
Before it was cool. Before
Yeah,
entrepreneurship was cool.
yeah. So it's when you have a business, it's people dream. Oh yeah, you have holidays, you do what you want. It's not like this, But when I start building this, I build it for a different way because I sadly my wife and I were expecting twins and one of them died, and Eric was born. Eric, my other son, his brother had issues, growing up, and so I had to be at home. So I had to keep myself busy, and that for me was my redemption in term of losing the baby. My way to come out of all this difficult time that we were going through was to put my energy into this, and building this. The first thing was how do I find a good team to develop this, and my guys Hakif and Keith Ram and and all those guys have been amazing. My development teams, there's nothing that I cannot say that could take them down because they've been very, very good and supportive, knowing what I was going through as well. And that's really, really good. But then after that, of course, the challenge is what do people want? What do people like? So it's always the question. And as you said, not everybody wants a 12-person league. So you ask yourself, have I made the right choice? Or do I keep going, and do I continue? So then, of course, the finance, we are bootstrap, so where do I spend the money? Do I market before or after? If you look at the moment, in everybody knows the answer, but nobody applies the right answer to this, So, and that's also the thing. So, but the biggest challenge as every business is how you maintain the money, how you maintain the float. Most startups died within a year or two. Nine startups out of 10 died within a year or two. Well, we're still alive. So of course, do a lot when you breed is my finance, but now that's why I said, we need to go to market to find, partners, potential angel investors or pre-seed VCs that would like to jump with us on this road, which is amazing. Because at the end of the day, when you build something from scratch, from a vision with people that you really enjoy working with, there's no greater rewards than this to have we have achieved something together. It's like winning a trophy. It's like Manchester United lifting the Champions League or or Kansas lifting the Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah,
It's the same thing for me. So step by step, every season, we're going to build a new product. That's our new trophy, and have people happy, enjoying this, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot, you're not alone in a lot of those challenges, right? I mean, you mentioned it that it's some of those challenges you mentioned are the common challenges all businesses and all entrepreneurs go through, and it's really how you handle those and how you move forward through those and how you address those that keeps you one of the ones alive and not one of them that has to fold, right? So that's
Yeah.
congrats to
And
you for still being alive. I mean, it's we all know that business is not easy, and so it's you fight through them and you live another day.
my dean of my provost from university, Dr. Audrey Levy, which actually passed away last December, said two things to me when I graduated. She wrote me a poem with the last two sentences of the poem always got stuck to my head. Was I will not Kevin, and I will not give in, and I will not Kevin.
I like it.
And I always
Yeah,
keep this in my
nice.
mind. In personal life, no matter what happens, life goes on. You
Yeah,
can face the biggest challenges I have, and people have worse than me. You
well,
know, Look, you can either choose to stop or move on. You have to move on. Life is too short to miss something.
I love that
And
advice.
same thing in business. You cannot cave in and just think that the world is falling on you. Every day, continue, and
Yeah,
whatever positive you have on that day, use this positive to move on. And
very.
yes, it's hard,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
have to go.
I love that you can take advice from all different aspects of life and all different places you've been, and you take little things from all that to build who you are. And so I love that. It sounds like you're doing some amazing things there. You mentioned that you are fundraising. So are you actively raising funds for the project? I know
Yes,
several people listening to this show. There may be other business leaders that are listening that could be interested. I mean, you got some awesome things going, and getting in on the ground floor of something like this. I'd encourage investors to really look into something like that. But you did mention that you are looking to bring on
yeah,
around.
absolutely. So now we build the project. Is built. The idea is to bring a partner for the go-to market to go to the next stage.
Yeah.
So you have to understand as a business owner, what you can take on your own and what you need to go forward.
Mm,
So either it's an angel investor, because we have soccer, we have the app, we have all this coming. So that's why it's not time to bring other people to come with us on this journey to help and move on, and that's what we are. So yes, I like to call it pre-seed because that's what we are doing. It's a
yeah.
pre-seed.
Yep.
It's not a seed investment, but the idea of the seed is like I said, it's a go-to market, but more importantly because we know soccer
Mm,
is huge.
it is.
It's 4 billion fan, and the goal is to go to the emerging market with this, because you are talking about the massive growing community of fantasy sports users over there, around 300 million users in emerging market, you know,
Mm,
and it's also, around 1 billion soccer fan.
wow. Wow. And
So at the end of
not sure anybody has done the fantasy side of soccer very well yet. Like it just doesn't feel like it's been done very well, at least
I
here.
can say,
So
as a user, it's not, in my opinion,
yeah,
the last 20 years, you still have the same issue,
yeah,
you know. And
yeah,
I'm not talking about Sora, because Sora, what they have done is great, but it's not really fantasy for me,
yeah.
you know. It's but the same issue of trading players,
Mm,
when you move from one country, you don't have this in the NFL, because you have all your American player there, and you don't see player moving, too much to Europe, and they stay in Europe and come back, these kind of things.
yeah,
But that's the biggest issue in Europe. You lose your players every time you play fantasy.
yeah,
You get, oh yeah, let me give you 10 points back. Well,
yeah,
that's annoying.
yeah,
you know
yeah. You're right. You're right. Well, Julian, this has been amazing. I really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit. How would people get a hold of you if they do, or they are interested, or just have questions, or want to be involved in any way with what you're doing from a business side? How would they get a hold of you?
Well, they can either go on sandport.io, they can contact you as well if you want. They can reach out to you because probably some of them will know you.
Yep.
Or they can, send me a WhatsApp if you want. I can send you my number, or there is or I can post it here, +48 608 135 729. No, no.
And you're on LinkedIn as well, right? Are you
And
on
I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah, yes, I'm on LinkedIn as well. I'm on Telegram. I'm everywhere.
every?
Sometimes it's a very negative because you get bombarded, and
Yeah,
my 3 or 4 hours of sleep is now reduced to 2 hours of sleep.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's hard, but
Okay.
yeah. people can reach out to me through the website.
We'll put your WhatsApp link all over the place, or your WhatsApp number, but we'll put your website, as you see here, samsports.io. We'll make sure to put your LinkedIn linked in the show notes. And yeah, feel free to reach out to me as well. I'm happy to connect to anyone that wants a formal introduction over to Julien. I'm happy to do that. So, well, Julien, what did we miss? We've got a couple minutes, minute or two here. What did we miss? What did you want to share that maybe we forgot to talk about before I let you go?
Well, if we talk about business, and let's continue, because it's at the end of the day, we could talk about fantasy. It's a 15% growing in the next 3-4 years. Just in the US alone, you have 60 million fantasy players. But if you look at worldwide, it's 260 million. But growing with India, which is a brand new market, exploding market, that have already 130 million fantasy player, just half of what the world population has, of fantasy. So it's very exciting for me. So the future is bright, and like I said, having people coming on board with us, playing our platform, have fun. It's come on SamSports.io, challenge yourself, feel like a GM and try. It's you will like it. You get into it, and we are building our own chat system within, so you can kid around with your friend as well.
Community within the game. Yeah, I love it.
Exactly.
Awesome. So all right, well, Julien, I really appreciate it. I can't wait to see the success you have with SamSports, and I'm here for you if you need anything as well. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being here.
No, thank you for having me. So it was a pleasure.
All right. Well, take care, Julien. Talk to you soon.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
All right, that was Julien Sevat, SamSports. Hopefully you enjoyed that show. It was a good one. I really encourage you to go out to samsports.io, check it out, get signed up there, and just really look at it, man. There's a lot of stuff going on there. It's really in depth, right? And as he mentioned, it's really for the fantasy player that kind of wants something next level, wants to kind of go on to the next level of fantasy sports, and that's amazing. When there's a product and something out there that kind of has its differentiator in the space, right? Because we see a lot of platforms trying to do the same thing. So it's really refreshing when you see new platforms, new products doing tackling problems that exist in an industry. So, all right, well, hopefully you enjoyed that. Please reach out to me if you need anything. Football's 3 weeks away. We're excited. Remember, SBC Summit Lisbon, new partner VIP, if you need a ticket to that. That's about all I got for you today. Lots of good shows coming up as well. But if you do know someone that should be on this show or that wants to be featured on the show, please just reach out. We love talking to amazing people doing amazing things in the sports industry. So we'd love to have them on as well. All right, I'm Ryan Knuppel. You can find me out on all the channels as well. And that's a wrap on episode 228. Everybody take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.